Hello and welcome finally everybody to this HeflaTV presentation of the Gigabyte Challenge number 6 qualifiers, Elements of Nature versus xGame KZ. Of course, Elements of Nature actually is Feelingood instead, but they haven't created the clan yet, so they're going with just a different tag. Or at least, yeah, that's what they said in the lobby. But my name is Coacher and I am not alone anymore. I am joined by Benchy.
Yeah, the game we was going to be cast did get sadly cancelled, but I am back. Finally ready to cast some Dota 2. It's been a while, but with TI4 finally being done and dusted, we've now got some more awesome Dota 2 action coming up. This is round number 2, I think, of the Gigabyte Challenge, or the qualifiers.
Yeah, it's in theory round number 3, as those teams got a bye, or default win in game number 1, because there just weren't enough teams entered. So it's the second round for both of those teams to play in, but in theory it's their third round of the tournament.
Yeah, I think that means we're in the top 128 teams at this point. As obviously you say there weren't enough, there was still 300 odd. As we are seeing the first pick coming out, the Brewmaster. One of those heroes that kind of did get very popular at the beginning of this more recent patch. Kind of dropping off a little bit as the just full-on, pure pushing lineups kind of started to take hold. But we see the xGame KZ seems to like that hero.
Oh yeah, and them banning out the Skyraf Mage is kind of a logical decision as well if they want to go for the Brewmaster. The Ancient Seal is just such a heavy counter to it, really. And of course the Doombringer, even worse than the Skyraf Mage, like multiple times. But Feelingood or Elements of Nature, however you want to call them, they go for a Viper and Witch Doctor. I mean, Viper, yes, he's a popular hero, but what do you make of the Witch Doctor?
Well, the Witch Doctor is a little bit interesting, and it is worth noting that the Void is still up. A Void, he takes a little bit of a while to get online, but his ultimate is still useful regardless of the amount of farm he's got. As we do see the Nature's Prophet getting picked up by xGame KZ, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that Nature's Prophet, especially with the faster-paced game style we're seeing currently in the current meta. He generally just doesn't seem to have enough time to get into that pure rat Dota stage.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit an iffy pick this early on. Some teams, yes, they can put it to great use, but you really have to be spot on. You have to be relevant early, and that's actually a really hard thing to accomplish with a Nature's Prophet. You have to time your TPs and of course the positioning of them correctly. If a Nature's Prophet really wants to be active on the map early, he can just skill up Sprout early on, teleport Sprout, set up kills that way. And at least so far, Elements of Nature, the first two picks, they don't have any escape mechanisms. Witch Doctor is really damn squishy. But of course, ganking a mid lane Viper, it's not going to be an easy feat, like no matter what almost.
Nope, and while the Brewmaster should be able to at least compete for farm in that 1 versus 1 mid lane, assuming that's what's going to happen, as obviously the Viper can be played in a lot of different roles, the Viper will generally beat out a Brewmaster just because of that Poison Sting does so much damage to melee heroes.
Oh yeah, I think Brewmaster probably will be able to hold his own somewhat, with Thunderclap helping him farm and of course having Drunken Haste to create the mischance on Viper. But a lot of it will come down to just whether the Brewmaster can actually get some runes as well to keep the mana going for both the Thunderclap and the Drunken Haste. Yes, he can Bottle Crow, but most times it's not as efficient anymore. But looking at the second set of bans, we see the IO and the Morphling banned by Elements of Nature, so I guess they must have some inside information about xGame.
Yeah, a little bit interesting there, as obviously that IO Morphling, a little bit less common nowadays, as again, two heroes that can need those levels and can need that farm. On the other hand, though, we are seeing a huge, massive team fight coming out from Elements of Nature. Just simply Witch Doctor ultimate, Shadow Shaman ultimate. And this team comes online very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, and well, it's so funny to see that. I mean, Shadow Shaman, yes, he's just a super popular pick, and the strength of that hero is, to be honest, I think it's probably the strongest support hero. The only negative is his goddamn awful movement speed, but his skill set is just so good. But xGame, they have the Nature's Prophet, and up against the Shadow Shaman. Who do you think will have the better in the push?
Well, I have to say that early game, the Shadow Shaman easily has the better push. In fact, the ultimate is just so powerful. It's very difficult to deal with, especially if you've got a team waiting in the back to kind of counter if they try and deal with those wards. As you don't want to fight underneath them, and you can't really use take the time to get rid of them inside of a hectic team fight.
Oh yeah, and well, Mass Serpent Ward's definitely gonna be a big part in this game for Elements of Nature, and of course that means that he has to get to level 6, which every now and then supports struggle to get that level 6 so damn hard. And even both for the Witch Doctor as well, once he gets level 6, his damage output actually increases quite greatly.
Now we are seeing that xGame KZ, they're a little bit confused right now as to what to pick up, as they're taking a lot of time on only their third pick. They've still got to make a whole bunch of more choices, as the Earthshaker is going to come out, and I do like that pick to some extent. It's a very nice turtling hero, using that fissure to just basically keep the enemy back, and also a very nice counter gank.
Yeah, the fissure just such a long range stun. Can stop either the Shackles of Shadow Shaman, maybe the channeling of the Death Ward from the Witch Doctor. And well, overall, just once he gets that Blink Dagger, setting up kills has never been so easy. Well, almost, but... Now though, what do we actually expect to see from either side now? Do you have like any picks that come to mind that would synergize well with either team?
Well, Elements of Nature, it depends. Do they want to go full out for this push-style strategy, or if they want to go for a late-game possibility, the Void right now would be very good, considering that we've got two melee heroes that get shut down by the Void. We've got the Witch Doctor ultimate that destroys face when comboed with that. In fact, I'm a little bit surprised that xGame KZ didn't ban out the Void in the second set of bans when they saw the Witch Doctors. The Wraith King's getting pulled out, and that might actually be a carry Wraith King.
Yeah, it sure looks like it at the moment. Unless, like, the Shadow Shaman or Witch Doctor is gonna take up the farming role instead. And carry Wraith King, well, actually, it's been a while since I saw it, I think.
As in, personally, I'm just not a huge fan of a pure carry Wraith King, so to say. A Wraith King, most of his awesome abilities, he does perfectly well with no farm, and giving him that farm, although it can pay off later in the game, I feel that compared to other carries, just doesn't carry fast enough and hard enough.
At least he has the stun. Really solid lockdown. Actually, between the Wraith King and the Shadow Shaman, they might be able to prevent the Brewmaster from getting his split off. And of course, well, Wraith King doesn't care at all about Earthshaker ultimate or anything, he just comes back to life anyway. And of course, maybe the idea behind it was like, we will try to survive the first, not the first, but the primal split, and even if Wraith King dies in the duration, then just take the fight after he reincarnates or something.
Yeah, it is worth noting though that for the Nature's Prophet, because they picked him up so early, if it is a defensive trial to give the Wraith King a fast farm and maybe get the Shadow Shaman a nice level 6/blink, the Nature's Prophet is not going to have a fun time in that lane. A Nature's Prophet is a very defensive offlaner, doesn't really have a lot of escape, more trying to use his treants to control the lane, but the amount of stun that Witch Doctor, Shadow Shaman and Wraith King bring together, he just can't turn up.
Yeah, of course, thank God the Nature's Prophet has those treants so he can actually go into the jungle as well if it's just really dire for him on the offlane. And actually I think there's a small chance that Elements of Nature might be going for an aggressive tri lane. But of course aggressive tri lanes are always risky and they go for a Clinks now. So that leads me to believe that it is actually going to be an aggressive tri lane with Clinks facing up against the Nature's Prophet on the safe lane.
Yep, and I will say that what we're seeing right now for Elements of Nature, they've got that push, but primarily what they want to end this game before the 25-30 minute mark. They want to turn in and just gank face. They want to make sure Nature's Prophet doesn't get up. They preferably want to end the game before Earthshake can even get his blink, with just so much ganking potential on this Elements of Nature team.
Yeah, and Klink's of course a natural Orchid carrier as well, so having the silence against Brewmaster is definitely a thing to look forward to. And now xGame, what do they actually draft now against this? Because Elements of Nature, I think their lineup is more or less good in every single stage of the game.
I'm not quite sure, as they're missing that carry, but at the same time, they don't really have a carry that can deal with this amount of aggression. As
Drow Ranger.
Wow.
That's greedy.
That is, I mean, they do have the Visage throw combination now, but this Drow Ranger, I'm just afraid that she'll get jumped and just completely smacked to death.
This has just become a 4 protect 1 strategy coming out from xGamers. Really, that Drow is going to be food for the enemy team if his positioning and the team's defense is not perfect surrounding her. But either way, we are going to be getting into this best of 1 right now. And we are going to be following up with the xGame sitting here on the dire side, Radiant side, I mean. And we've got Wasafaka on Brewmaster, Mantis on that Drow Ranger, Dublum on Nature's Prophet, Reeves on Earthshaker, and Gasha on Visage.
And for Ion, or, well, Feelingood, I think they should be still called. Man, they're messing me up with their tag. But Scar will be playing the Witch Doctor, leaving Diablos. Diablos? My god. I suck at reading. Diablos playing the Viper, with Ratix on the Shadow Shaman, Saint Petru on the Wraith King, and mid lane taken up by Andy. And actually, mid lane Clinks, I did not expect this laning to come out from them.
No, we do have a mid lane Clinks, but at the same time, it does make a little bit of sense, I guess, considering the fact that the Wraith King and Witch Doctor Shadow Shaman do have a lot of stun potential between them. And I'm guessing they're just going to be wanting to have that solo Wraith King farm against their Nature's Prophet. They can't do very much against them, and have the Shadow Shaman just roaming and ganking around.
Well, to be honest, I guess that leaving the Clinks against Nature's Prophet might not have been the best decision, because Nature's Prophet can just set the 3 ends on the Clinks, and Clinks can't really deal with them that well. This way, they can just guarantee some farm, and Clinks against Brewmaster should be fairly decent for, actually, I think either side, really. So it's just a question that, will the dual lane of the Witch Doctor and Viper actually get anything accomplished on the bottom lane?
That's going to be the interesting thing is, they did have some nice stun kill combos set up, and it's going to be a little bit harder for them to get the kills and shut down this Drow with only a 2 versus 3 situation. And they are going to have to be careful with that Earthshaker. The Fissure can block one of them off, and with that lack of mana disadvantage, so to say, they are going to be in a bad situation if one of them gets blocked off, and this might be it.
Oh gosh, she didn't skill up anything in the Paralyzing Cask, bouncing perfectly to Reeves. If the Paralyzing Cask had bounced to anything else, like a Creep or maybe to Mantis, Reeves probably would have gotten the block off from the Fissure. But I think maybe Kasha should have skilled up something, although he was like, oh god, we probably need Soul Assumption to get the burst damage, but oh, they're going against Scar. Nice Fissure block, blocking both of them in Scar. Paralyzing Cask goes out, but only one stun onto Kasha. That's the first blood, and now Diablos, he wants to go for Kasha, she's gonna get the counter kill probably. He's gonna lose his life for it, but he couldn't run out anyway. The Fissure, just beautifully done by the Earthshaker.
That is going to be 2 for 1 in favor of xGame and getting that first blood, as that Drow, we said it was greedy, but the fact they didn't go aggressive tri lane to shut it down, the fact that they went this weird 2-1-2 lane means that this Drow all of a sudden is now, might have a far bigger impact in this game.
Oh yeah, they definitely needed that. Just getting the levels. They actually, even in the later stages of the game, Nature's Prophet, he can transition into somewhat of a carry as well, of course. And that Precision Aura will just help the Nature's Prophet do a lot of right click damage earlier on than he usually would. So you can still go for those utility items like the Sheep Stick before.
As it's interesting to note on this middle lane that Brewmaster is actually winning this pretty hard right now. 9-3 against a 4-0 Clinks.
Oh wow, that's something I didn't expect, at least not to be that huge of a difference. Because Clinks, having the Searing Chains, he should be able to right click. And Brewmaster, it's not like he has a Stout Shield or anything to stop Andy from just harassing him down with the Searing Chains. So a little bit weird for me as Reeves tanks up the tower a little bit, wanted to go for the Fissure. And actually not even a little bit, 4 tower hits, but no, there's the Fissure coming out the slow as well. Should be an easy kill for them, or will it? Reeves doesn't really want to pull tower aggro. And Visage, he's the one getting the kill.
And again, another kill. This bottom lane just not working out in any shape or form for Ian. And
it was just such a risky decision to begin with, to be honest. Sending a dual lane up against a tri lane of that nature.
And even due to the fact that it's a dual lane, rather than it being a, you know, rather difficult lane for this Nature's Prophet, the Nature's Prophet's getting a pretty nice time down here. He's getting levels, he's getting last hits, and he's not really being pressured.
Yeah, actually, speaking of the Nature's Prophet, it's even scarier to go for a dual off lane up against a tri lane like that when there's a Nature's Prophet as well on the enemy team who could always TP into the fight. So you would just be at a double numbers disadvantage. It's really scary, and of course, looks like they don't even need the Nature's Prophet to just wreck that lane anyway.
As we are seeing, Shaker might want to come in for a fissure. Not going to throw it off though.
Just lets his presence be known. Klinks, he's going for a straight up Ring of Aquila, just wants that extra mana regen, of course. And sometimes we see, especially mid lane Klinkses, to just go for the bottle instead, especially since they have that easy roam control with the skeleton walk. But, well, doesn't opt to go for it. And top lane, oh, never mind, Nature's Prophet might go down. Just barely TPs out. I guess the stuns weren't used properly, but now Reese, he's going man mode. Oh, the creeps to kill the Wraith King. Are you kidding me right now? 4-1 as Scar. He is gonna make his escape. There's not enough mana for yet another Fissure from Reeves. But man, Wraith King just dying to the creeps there. How unfortunate.
Really nice play there by Earthshaker, realizing that he could get that kill if he positioned it correctly, and that is really crucial, as Wraith King was really one of the few heroes that's having a good time on Ian, and right now, we see Earthshaker is looking for more ganks, he's looking for more kills, and surprisingly, it's xGame who's looking to play aggressive.
Yeah, xGame, they're just taking this game into their own hands, and I think that's exactly the right decision as well. If they had just laid back and let Feelingood farm up, like Klinks get that fast Orchid, it could have been disastrous for them, but at the moment Wraith King, he's not getting anything. He has 1k gold, so he obviously wants to go for that Hand of Midas. But that might set him back too much. And now Gasha, they're going bottom lane for the Viper. The right clicks are coming in. Soul Assumption as well. Last right click. Oh no, one more. 9 HP. And Drow Ranger has that ridiculous range and gets the kill.
And that's just another kill as Viper. He's not an off-lane hero. He can't stay down here, and he's now getting killed 2 versus 1. As in this, Earthshaker hasn't been in the tri lane for a while, and they're going to pick up the first tier 1 tower here on middle.
And 5 minutes in, they're just so far ahead at the moment. Looking at the graphs, it's already 4,000 gold XP, 3,000 almost, getting there. And this actually might be a little bit too hard to come back, because Klinks is definitely not a comeback hero.
No, as again, I said it when we first started watching this game. Ian was looking to finish this off in the first 20-25 minutes, and right now, their strange laning decision has basically given the opportunity for xGame to take control of the early game themselves.
Oh yeah, and actually, wow. Gasha, he went for Tranquil Boots on Visage now, so wants to roam around and just continue going for kills, diving for towers, and they don't want to let up on the pressure at all. And Tubolon, he is almost level 6 as well, and actually just hits it now. So they can set up a gank with the Wrath of Nature to just get that extra burst damage.
But we do see Klinks is kind of rotating around, but he's only level 5. He's only got 12
but top lane, they find the Wraith King Wrath of Nature to bounce around. What the fuck are coming in as well? Nope, never mind, they're going for Ratix instead. Although Wraith King wasn't even level 6, so I was pretty sure they're gonna go for him instead. But still, kill secured. That's a Blink Dagger for Brewmaster. And they can even go for the tier 1 now.
Yeah, that is a Blink Dagger 7 minutes in, plus boots, plus bottle. It wasn't like he just blind, naked rushed that.
Oh, but bottom lane, Gasha, he's gonna go down. Paralysis cast to bounce around. Malediction, the poison damage. Yeah, he's definitely gonna take down the last right click, finishes the job. As well, they get 1 revenge. But still, they're pressing the top tower. Wraith King, oh, he hits level 6, so has the reincarnation. But now, oh, Blink Thunderclap. If he loses his reincarnation, it's a huge cooldown. Reeves is gonna come in as well. Doesn't have the Echo Slam, enchant out and waiting for the Fissure for the another one. But unless he gets bouncing around, can he actually get the Fissure at all? The heal is coming out. No, Fissure connects on 2 Poldertos, gets 1 kill. And you know, gets the counter, and now the stun onto Dubolom as well. I think this is a good fight for Ian. Feeling good. They're actually going for the Brewlings next as the Panda, the Earth Panda at least. He's on the run. But a 2-for-1, they only lose a support.
And even then, as in, it was finally the first team fight that Ian managed to take over, first initiation, but it did require xGame to dive so hard. It was a little bit greedy of them there, but even then, they still managed to pick up a nice kill and get rid of that reincarnation, which at this early into the game, with a level 1 reincarnation, it is a 260-second cooldown. So we are seeing another gank attempt coming down bottom, or a push.
Yeah, they can push us so easy. And there's a Mask of Madness and Mantis already as well. Just going all out. Not even rat style, but they're just like, come on guys, you can't take us anyway. We'll just go for tower after tower. Oh my god, Breath of Nature gets the kill. They're gonna go for more slow onto Radix Scar. He's on the run now. One more right click, Mantis, Soul Assumption, just to secure the kill. Or no, never mind. Mantis' right click makes it there just before the Soul Assumption.
Just look at that damage that passive gives from the Drow. 150 odd damage per route right click, and it's less than 10 minutes into the game, and she's already got a Mask of Madness.
Yeah, and not only does it boost his own damage so much, it's at the moment 32 damage to all the other ranged heroes, which of course are the Visage and the Nature's Prophet. But they're not even the familiars yet, and once those familiars come out, the Precision Aura is gonna do a crazy amount of damage as they just gonna get an easy Roche. And if you're getting a Roche as a Radiant side 9 minutes into the game, it's a clear indicator to me how this game is going.
And just look right now that Eon has no idea this is happening because they've got no map control because all of their supports are so...
Oh, Blink Thunderclap right click, what the fucker? Just blows up the Wraith King. Malediction is there though, he doesn't have his ultimate, so actually might go down as Andy. He didn't even go for the right target. Reeves, he's coming in. Echo Slam, he's already on cooldown now. They pop down the sentry, what the fucker? He's there. Thunderclap, maybe no right clicks. No, Maledict ends. He actually might stay alive. Scar wants to chase him down, but that's a huge mistake to make. Another Blink Thunderclap, they get the kill on Andy. And Scar, oh, Paralysis Gasp, one more right click might do the job, Reeves. He saves his body with one right click, and now double arm. He kills off Scar just before he dies himself.
But that was only the Aegis going down, and an early game Aegis, it's not really that an important thing, as in you mostly do the Roshan for the gold advantage and level advantage it gives you, as another kill comes out, more stuns, more kills. 15-5 right now. It's like the CI4 finals all over again.
And 10 minutes in, they've surpassed the 1k gold per minute lead as well. It's not gonna stop anyway anytime soon. I think there's even a mech, or at least the recipe of it is in the stash for Tubolom on the Nature's Prophet. So they just have it all to take the team fights, to just keep on killing. And oh, there's a Dagon on what the fucker.
What?
Brewmaster Dagon, next level.
New meta.
Wow, sure looks like it.
Well, if you've got 42 last hits in 10 minutes and 3 kills, 0 deaths and 2 assists, why not? Why not take that lead with the amount of bursts you can output with a Dagon? As in, theoretically, Dagon's good.
Reeves, Cops is stunned in the face. The right click's coming from Andy as well. Reeves gets the Fisher before his death. He's somehow still alive. Thunderclap by what the fucker. 2 men down. Primal Split going for Radix actually. No, never mind. They throw up Andy in the air and Klink's Skeleton Walk. Reeves, nice enchant totem. They pop down the sentry. And actually, never mind. Andy got the counter kill. But it is so worth it. 4 heroes for only 1 support.
As we're going to see even more pushing coming out, and it looks like they may well just go start for Rax. One of the advantages of Eon being solo level at the moment is they are coming up pretty fast, but I don't think they've got a way to defend this. Shadow Shaman hasn't got his ultimate up yet. Wraith King is... his reincarnation is going to be up in a few moments.
Oh, but Hex goes out. Breath of Nature, though, bouncing around familiars. Oh, Radix, man, just taken out by Breath of Nature. Just casual damage. And now, Wraith King, the silence comes out. The slows. Brewmaster blinks in. Thunderclap to get the kill. Scar goes down to Gasha. And now Diabolas, Viper. Well, sorry, buddy, but... and this game is so lost. Although Mind is taking a lot of damage with his Mask of Madness activated. But the return damage was way too fast. And just Visage the burst damage, it's real, and he's up to 3.5k gold.
This is just absolute domination coming out right now from xGamers. Eon, I feel they had the better draft. They just made some weird, interesting choices. And obviously, Caster, the word interesting is code.
Oh man, just look at the net worth. It's so sad. They're gonna go for more Wraith King. Reincarnation actually has it this time around. The slows are there, but Scar not level 6. No ultimate to just dish out the damage. There's the Echo Slam in the face of Saint Pietro. And Dagon level 3 on Brewmaster. They slow down Viper. Scar on the run as well. Viper, he goes down to Mantis. Mask of Madness, too much movement speed and attack speed as Andy takes a spill. And that's just 28 to 6. The net worth absolutely sad to look at. Throw Ranger, he's quadrupling the net worth of the highest tier side, which was the Klink.
And that is pretty dominating performance coming out from xGame, as sadly Eon were unable to just deal with the early game advantage that they managed to rack up, and they're going to go on to the next round, I think to the round of 62 at this point. This has been Banshee, and I'll let Kucha pass you off.
Yeah guys, if you liked us, be sure to follow us, but this is not it for us today anyway. We're gonna look for more games of, well, either round 2 or round 3, maybe even round 4 if somebody or some game is popping up soon. But yeah, if you like this, follow us not only on this channel but also on HeflaTV 2 and HeflaMoke, all the English channels for us, and our social media, which is HeflaTV for everything. The links are below the stream as well. And yeah, just stick around, a few songs as we try to find our next game.